Two teams with two different missions as we enter the last stretch of the regular season. DeMar DeRozan and the Chicago Bulls trying to make the play-in tournament, while De'Aaron Fox and the Sacramento Kings got the 1 seed on their mind all of a sudden. Could Fox swiping, and the Kings steal the 1 seed from the Nuggets? They have to beat the Bulls, and Chicago wasn't going for it early. It's DeMar DeRozan, the reverse, and the trifecta. Bulls lead by 16. Zach LaVine heading down Main Street right at Harrison Barnes. He had some success going at Harrison. More on that in a second. But first things first, it's the third quarter, and it means Kevin Huerter joins the highlight. Fox gives Sacramento the 1-point lead. Other end we go. I mentioned Zach LaVine going at Harrison, and this is what I meant. Oh, the nasty in and out on Barnes. LaVine still got the bunnies intact. Fourth quarter, it's them Sacramento boys lighting the beam. Malik Monk for 3, and then Domantas Sabonis inside. He had 14 points, 17 rebounds, 10 assists. Bulls down a 3 spot. It's DeRozan for 3, plus the foul. Chicago up by 1. Here comes Malik again with a 3 of his own. Then Fox, your NBA's best fourth quarter scorer, puts the Kings up by 6. Bulls got fight left in them. How about this 3 from DeRozan? It counts plus the foul, which means DeRozan ties this game up at 114. Last chance for the Kings. They put the ball in the hands of their guy, De'Aaron Fox. Swiping, no swiping. Swiping, no swiping. It's Fox with the game-winning 3-pointer, his third go-ahead bucket of the season. And this one wins it again for the Kings. They improved to 41-27 on the season with a dramatic 117-114 dub on the road. Well, I've watched a good amount of Sacramento basketball over the last month, I'd say, just really honing in on one of the NBA's best teams, and they've been pretty darn hot. And their games are always exciting. They don't blow a lot of teams out. They also don't get blown out often, and they play to the level of their competition. And no lead is insurmountable pretty much for anybody in the NBA, but definitely the Sacramento Kings, because they can come back quickly with the firepower that they got offensively. We said on this platform the other day, the Sacramento Kings are very young, but one of the things they got going is how quirky this year has been. Meaning, yes, typically I don't bet on young teams in the playoffs, but I have to admit to you, one thing the Kings got going in their favor is that injuries are plaguing some of the teams that got vets and got guys that been there, done that before. I look at the Warriors the other day. Andre Iguodala goes down with a season-ending injury pretty much. Iguodala is one of the vets that you would want to rely on. None of these teams can get right for 15, 20 games at a time. Warriors, Lakers, Clippers, the teams that you would think in theory would have some pretty good opportunities to take down the Kings in Sacramento in a game 1 or game 2 type of setting, they ain't healthy. So we said, yes, the Kings are young, but there are some things about this year specifically with all the injuries that could work in their favor. I've now come up with another thing that works in the Kings' favor. Again, I do believe they're going to have to go through the growing pains of just how the NBA works. Look, I had a lot of fans, Sacramento fans, reach out to me and they said, the hell are you talking about, FERRO? We ready to win it all right now. Listen, you're a fan. You're supposed to think that. You're supposed to be invested. I don't take it personal that you're invested in your team. You're wrong, but you have the right to be wrong and love your team. There's nothing wrong with that. I love passionate fans. You make the sport a great place. You make this product even better. So continue to be passionate. But I will school you in the process. In the NBA, if you're void of a superstar, which the Kings got 2 really good pieces in Fox and Sabonis, but they're not superstars. You don't skip steps in this league, generally speaking. You have to go through the growing pains of losing early in the first round, even if you are a top-tier seed. Now, here's my second reason why Sacramento does have some things in their favor, though, contrary to a lot of other young teams we've seen in the past. I'll even use the Memphis Grizzlies as an example, right? Grizzlies, they're young. They've had a lot of success over the last couple years. The difference between the Kings And the Grizzlies are this. Memphis is trying to blow you out. They don't want fourth quarter games. That's why you saw against the Warriors last year and almost against the T-Wolves, you got into them fourth quarters of those games. You slowed it down. The Grizzlies struggled in half-court offense, and they probably will struggle again this year. The Kings are not struggling in half-court sets later in games. They're playing tough, tight games. So, yes, a lot of young teams we see that come by storm, they're blowing a lot of these guys out. That's not the Sacramento Kings story. They're in a lot of these games close down the wire, winning them in this. They got De'Aaron Fox, who's been the clutchest player in the NBA this season. So if you're a Kings fan, you got to be excited about how you guys have been able to compete at a high level in close games. Again, depending on who Sacramento plays in the first round, I still believe it will be a daunting task to pick them to win more than one round, and we'll see if they even are able to win one round. I think we're talking about a 7-game series for Sacramento with a Game 7 on their home court in the first round. If they end up facing off against the Lakers, Warriors, or Clippers, again, young teams typically take a year or two of taking L's to learn how to win in the playoffs. But again, Sacramento's got two things riding in their favor. Injuries, number one, around the league. They've been pretty healthy, at least up top. And then the second thing is they're winning close games. They're not just blowing everybody out. These are close games that they're winning down the stretch, in large part due to having this dude, we call him swiping, nose swiping. Swiping, nose swiping. De'Aaron Fox, the NBA's best when it turns to the fourth quarter.